Buon pomeriggio and welcome back to Spiaggia Lunga Vieste. We are back and what a crazy day it has been so far. I mean, it's been a very early birdie. We were able to finish the Foilstyle single elimination. We got the craziest storm ever afterwards, lightnings, thunderstorm, pouring rain, and now we are back. The sky cleared up and we are ready for the Foilstyle double elimination to be kicking off.
Absolutely, yeah, as you said, interesting hold up in the middle of the day with the thunderstorm, but had some great action that we got underway with before that, obviously with the Foilstyle, the women's and the juniors. So I think we've got a bit of a rundown of this, and we'll take a look back at what we've had so far.
First of all, congratulations for winning the heat. You advanced into the final. What happened out there? Please tell us through the conditions.
Oh, that was a struggle. It shows how tricky it was. The wind is strong. It's good for foiling, but it comes like the really strong offshore gusts that you just don't expect and you don't know where to go. But now I felt it out, so let's go for the final full power.
Okay, we're here with Lennart Neuber winning the single elimination of the Foilstyle. Had a bit of a slow start to that heat, but that shifty seemed to give you a lot of momentum. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, I was struggling. I was really doubting if I should do a shifty because I was still missing a lot of moves on both sides. So although I can do it sometimes, it's really difficult in these conditions. So I was in the air. I was like, okay, you have to make this now, and I just landed. I almost planed away. I was like, yeah, I guess as you said, it gave me a bit of momentum. And then towards the end I kind of relaxed a little bit because I realized I was getting nervous and I was getting like more fast paced, so I slowed a bit down and had this upwind burner which I guess filled in my score sheet, and yeah, I'm very happy with my heat.
Oh yes, beautiful images of the morning, action-packed morning. And there we go. The start is on. So heat number 24, first round of the Foilstyle double elimination is on. Bodhi versus Micah.
Yeah, here we go, getting straight into it. Bodhi Kempen up on your screens there, ducking the sail. Yeah. You know, conditions looking very different to what we had this morning, Greta. You know, we had a lot stormier seas. The water state has really flattened out. You know, obviously those ramps came in earlier. You know, some of the riders really using that to maximum effect, but also kind of struggling, weren't they? Until mentioning it there in the interview you did with him earlier. You know, definitely found it a bit difficult. You know, gusty winds and the choppy water on the foils. So yeah, it looks like it's got a little bit easier out there today, as we see Micah Hooven with a little shove it, and Bodhi Kempen doing his own as well.
Yeah, definitely, Sandy. I mean, honestly, I just said it's been a day with 4 seasons, you know. In the morning, we had crazy stormy conditions. It was pouring, it was lightning, it was thundering, and all riders actually have been really struggling in the morning on the water. There were some really strong gusts coming through. I mean, due to the storm approaching, obviously. Then we had those little ramps. We had a lot of chop in the water. And now, to be honest, it cleared completely up. The wind looks super stable throughout the whole competition area and also quite flat on the water, to be honest. So, yeah, to be honest, it seems like a complete different day. And, yeah, I mean, I can just repeat myself. The weather has been crazy today. But now it looks actually pretty nice. I think it looks very good for foiling, actually. And, yeah, the riders are just cruising around. It looks breezy, stable. So, I think we're having a nice afternoon ahead of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks nice and stable, you know, the conditions. Hopefully, you know, after a storm comes through, you know, usually it's quite sort of stable conditions straight afterwards. So yeah, fingers crossed that's what we're going to see now as we see Micah Hooverman going for that kind of downwind 3-switch Kono, but just sort of going down at the end. It definitely looks like the wind's a little bit lighter, but I find, you know, even if it's a bit lighter, as long as it stays consistent, then I think we're definitely going to see some action, and they shouldn't be having too much of an issue. As we see Bodie Kempen going around a really nice Kulo there, right on the inside.
Absolutely, it's all about consistency at the moment, because this morning all the riders have been complaining a lot about these strong guards, which made it really, really difficult on the water to land the moves properly at the very end, you know, and also they all had struggles to choose actually the right sail size. So I think so far now we're actually fine. It's lighter, as you said, which is not actually a bad thing for foiling, you know, as long as it's consistent and it's the minimum they need. But so far, I think they both had a quite good start. First scores are coming in, and yeah, we can see Anthony, the jet ski driver, putting away some of the some of the tourists who are unfortunately a little bit in the competition area. But I think that will be solved any minute, and off we go.
Yeah, exactly. As we see Bodie Kempen stepping into switch, you know, getting out and away from the beach. You know, certainly earlier on in the conditions, it was definitely windier, you know, further out to sea. And I'd say that's probably going to be the same thing. You can see there's a bit of a headland in the background upwind there. So the further out you go, kind of the stronger it's going to be. So, you know, we're definitely seeing the riders, especially like Steven van Broekhoven earlier on, you know, staying a little bit further out where there was a bit more breeze. Bodie Kempen with a really just going down at the end again. I may have water started out, in which case he will still put some points on the board, but will be penalised for it. You know, he won't score as high as if he landed it really clean.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot of Micah. Look at it. Completely cruising. Unfortunately going down there at the end at this, Shovit Chaka attempt actually. But yeah, this is now proper VIESTE conditions, you know. This is how VIESTE is shining. This is the proper VIESTE, and not really as it's been, this late morning.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this morning, obviously it was great because we had the wind, and you know, we were able to finish the double and even get through a few heats on the fin as well. You know, the youth especially made a real impression. You know, the young Italian riders, you know, it's really great to see them get to showcase their skills. I was really impressed personally, you know, putting down some really nice heat scores. As we see Bodie Kempen going down on a Kono there. You know, a bit of a risky move going for the Kono, but I suppose he's already done the Kulo. So yeah, needs to diversify up those moves.
Absolutely. All right, then we see Mikey pumping it up, getting that foil out and going for the outside of the competition area. Let's see what we get next. I mean, shout out to Micah.
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
competing against Bodie, one of the strong Brouwersdam boys. Obviously, it's never easy to compete against a guy, but I mean, Micah, she's just one ripper, and there are many guys who are actually afraid of her skills, so no problem for her.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Micah's you know, results speak for themselves. You know, she's been such a successful competitive windsurfer, and really cool to see her embracing the foil style as well, and you know, getting out there and doing it for the girls. Something very new. I don't think she's really done it that much, but she has been a bit of a trailblazer for women within the sport, and especially within freestyle. So it's great to see her, you know, doing the same thing as we get into more and more into this discipline. And I think we're only going to see more and more girls entering it as we move through the years.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, hopefully that's what I hope for, Sandy. But yeah, that's right. I mean, Micah, she's the first time ever competing in Foilstyle here, so it's a little bit her debut here in VIESTE. But it's a little bit of a lucky place and debut place for many riders, actually. There are quite some riders new to that discipline. Last year has been already the first ever Foilstyle event with a podium being held here in VIESTE. So, yeah, I mean, this morning we kept talking about evolution and how much this can get better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, of course, on the women's side as well, you know, over the last couple of years, we've had Lucy Honegger, Swiss rider, coming and, you know, joining us, and she's really into the foiling. And, you know, obviously she's still recovering from an injury from last year in Geneva in the tow-in. She had a really big crash. You know, not with us, but I'm sure she would have been putting it up against the boys in the foil style as well. So yeah, hopefully Lucy's injury is going well, and she'll be able to rejoin us at some of the events later on in the year. But yeah, Micah, catapulting straight
As well.
Yeah, I think both of them catapulting there for almost at the same time. Micah stepping into switch and then Bodhi ducking in regular. It's kind of a different feeling on the foil. You've got to adjust that technique slightly, and you're seeing it from Micah. All this stuff she can do so easily on a fin. But yeah, once you're kind of up flying in the air, it takes a while to practice it. As I said, I was in Brazil towards the end of last year with George Grisley, who's actually coming up in the next heat, and he was kind of taking his first steps on the foil, and it was really interesting watching his kind of learning curve. Obviously, he's got all the moves on the fin, but trying to translate that onto the foil, it was really cool watching him kind of go through that process. And there were some kind of really counterintuitive things that he was saying. Certain things were really easy on the foil, and certain things that you wouldn't necessarily think were really difficult. So yeah, it's cool to see Micah doing that essentially in a competition setting right now. And hopefully she's going to be going and training it a bit more. Obviously has put in a lot of time on the foil, and it's definitely showing with the skills he's been showcasing.
Absolutely, and here we go. Last minute of the first heat of the double elimination in foil style. So far, Bodhi is leading with 9.42 versus Micah 3.64. Both riders not really pulling off moves. I think the wind cut maybe a little bit lighter. I mean, obviously on the inside it is always a bit lighter, but they both kind of jibed and continued. Let's see, Bodhi is in switch now, going maybe, yeah, I think more or less for the last move of the day. Let's see if he will have enough power and enough power to go for a last move.
Yeah, almost too much power there. It goes to the burner, but kind of overcooks it a little bit. But he's not got anything to worry about. He will still be winning this heat, taking the win with 9.42 over Micah Hooverman 3.64. So Bodhi Kempen will be advancing through into the next round.
Well done, both of them. I mean, they all gave their best. Bodhi advancing, and we're on our way of the foil style double elimination.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, it will be George Grisley up against Jamie Howard. Battle of the Brits. So yeah, this is going to be a really, really exciting matchup.
I mean, this must be a tough one for you, huh, Sandy? Because you're very close to both of them. So this is really like a match between brothers, kinda.
Well, it absolutely is. As I said, I'm like really close to both of them, but they're also both really close to each other, and they've spent a lot of time training and traveling together and together in all the places around the world. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun one for both. I'm honest, I know Jamie has George. Jamie's been doing the foil style for a bit longer. As I said, George only started it towards the tail end of last year. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I would say Jamie probably has the edge, so George is going to be pretty hungry for it as well. So yeah, this is going to be a fun heat. I'm excited.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean, as you can Kempen.
Yeah, and then we can see Bodhi Kempen. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to add, I mean, George and Jamie, they're both really, let's say, soul surfers also. They're both having a lot of fun. They're both loving windsurfing in all its aspects, in all its facets, in all its disciplines. So I'm sure they will put a lot of creativity and love to that upcoming heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the heat matchups that we've got here. Jamie obviously taking part in the competition last year with the foil style. I think he's been spending a bit more time on the foils as well. Over the course of last year, not too much, but especially recently, his home spot in the South Coast in the UK. I think he's been out quite a few times on the lighter days on the foil. As you can see, average heat score there, but that is from last year, so you could probably discount that. I don't think he'd really done much foil style when he was in VIESTE last year. And as you said, Jamie's so creative and he picks up things very quickly. He's such a natural talent. So yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a difficult one for George. But yeah, George has picked it up really, really fast over the last kind of 5 or 6 months. The only thing I would say that may let George down is that he is a bit of a heavier rider than Jamie. Jamie obviously very light, springy on his feet. So yeah, in these light wind conditions, Jamie may have the edge ever so slightly.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually what I was thinking as well. I mean, the wind is, as we say, stable, but still quite light. So let's see if actually the weight and size of George will be a disadvantage for him, but I'm sure he will give it all and pump it up to the maximum, doing a lot of cardio in this heat. And there we go. First move coming in from Jamie. Very nice shaka out there on the outside. Very high one. Got a lot of pop actually.
Yeah, really, really nice shaka there. The wind looks so light. Somehow just, like you always see it, you know, kind of bending that front leg, you know, really bringing the board up as high as you can. And then George answering with his own shaka there. Really nice. Yeah, so both riders starting the heat as they should. Yeah, 4.48 coming in for Jamie. So Jamie's scoring slightly higher than George's. So yeah, that first exchange, Jamie will be taking the lead as we see him stepping into switch as well. You can see him pumping the sail. It is not too breezy. Ducking, what's he got for us?
Ooh.
Nice burner there from Jamie.
Oh, how was he able to land that one? I mean, he totally saved it. Look at that.
Yeah, nice there. Came round really well, but yeah, just sort of got, you know, a bit too close to the boom at the end, you know, with something we always talk about teaching windsurf. You want to keep distance between yourself and that sail, but when it's this light, you kind of need to keep everything over the middle of the board as well. So yeah, it's kind of, you know, treading that fine line. As we see George Grisley in switch as well. He obviously does switch the other way, so doing it going out. So that could actually work for him because there are still these little lumps, these bits of chop. You can see that really nicely on this angle as we see him duck the sail, but he will miss the boom and he will go down.
Oh, okay. That is obviously always a little bit of, yeah, I mean, going down is always a little bit of a lose of time because obviously the time you water start again, you're up in the board, you restart. So obviously in ideal case, you never want to go down, but when you're completely in the water, you always need to calculate that couple of, yeah, half a minute or so to get going again, especially when the conditions are so light. It's, yeah, can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But there we go. Jamie is up again. As we just said, he's a lighter rider, so using every little gust for himself, you know, making the most out of it. And actually like this, he looks completely comfy, you know, really relaxed, really comfy, coming in on the insides. I mean, he's definitely leading at the moment with 8.4 versus George 3.8. Still 6.5 minutes to go, so everything is still open.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jamie, you know, really nice effort there. And he will come round the Skopu. But same kind of laughing there almost. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think if he manages to get up, it's really interesting to see, you know, the way the guys are water starting with the foil style because they can't keep their hands on the boom. So they kind of get their hands on the bottom of the sail there. I think that will definitely affect the scoring quite positively. But, you know, it will still, I imagine, count as a landed move. But yeah, obviously they'll be heavily penalised for the. Yeah, it has come in. Yeah. So as you know, his starboard score has increased 8.03. So yeah, 12.51 overall for Jamie Howard. George Grisley just with that shaka on starboard to start with. As we see him coming round, is he going to go for that burner? But just doesn't quite get the pop. You can see he's just sort of struggling for power a little bit, like we were saying. You know, maybe Jamie, the advantages with him, you know, being that kind of lighter rider. Also earlier, Jamie crashing a culo, you know, the foil kind of breached as he went for that regular duck. So, you know, still only got one move counting on port tack. He's got that culo down usually, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see it this run as we see him getting ready. There's the regular duck heading up into the wind.
Oh.
And there is the culo there. Called it.
Nice one. Oh, that one was very well landed, very clean. And I mean, now we would like to point out one more again how important it is to properly land on the foil. I mean, the landing here is basically crucial, and that's also what the judges want to see, especially when you're having a big foil under your board. You need to make sure to land really on top of the board, on top of the foil, because as soon as it's a little bit too sideways, obviously you will end up in the water, and that's what we don't want to see. This morning, actually, some of the riders, or most of the riders, had some really difficulties to get that proper landing, which then obviously impacted also their scores. So, yeah, well done, Jamie. That was a very, very nice one. Cleanly landed. And he comes on the inside. Ducky. And on the outside again. So currently we have Jamie leading with 16.3. George a little bit missing out on the action. I think he's just having some difficulties, maybe what we just said about his weight and really to get the power, you know, to pull out some moves.
Absolutely, you know, Jamie really taking advantage of, you know, being one of the kind of lighter riders here and actually putting together a really nice heat. As you said, Greta, that culo was really clean. You know, definitely managed to make an improvement on the last one. As we're seeing him bearing away out of screen there, you know, into that kind of downwind 3 position. But yeah, obviously probably wanted something a bit more than just a downwind 3. You know, realistically, he's done the burner coming in. He's done the Skopu. You know, Skopu was a bit wet, so he may be looking to improve on that. But also, yeah, I think, you know, he does have a few more tricks up his sleeve. I imagine maybe he'll want to get the air funnel in on starboard tack. Port tack, I'm actually not too sure. He's done the Shaka, he's done the Kulo. I'm not sure what he's going to add. I know I can't think what other moves he may have learned. As we see George Grisley pumping up and down there, foil breaching a little bit. You know, definitely looking like he's kind of struggling for power a bit. But let's see what he's got. He's going for the flacker. And he will come round the flacker. Really nice. Not a move we see that often in the foil style, the flacker. Obviously, you know, usually the nose of the board is used as a rotation point, and that's very hard with the foil to actually get the nose in because you're that much higher off the water and the boards are so short. So yeah, quite a difficult move to do in the foil style. But yeah, George managing to make it look easy, and he will add to his heat score, 6.33. Still 3 minutes left to go. So yeah, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen.
Oh, nice one from Jamie.
Nice
also, nice Skopu, perfectly executed. Also very dry, actually, up front, sail standing. So, I mean, Jamie is loving it. He's really having his time to shine, actually, throughout this heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Together a really nice Skopu. Yeah, as I said earlier, you know, the first one he did, you know, he didn't really land it that cleanly. So yeah, probably looking to replicate that and try and land a cleaner one. And that's exactly what he did there. You know, he's become a really smart competitor over the years, Jamie. He knows what moves, you know, especially on like the foil and things like that. But even on the thin as well, you know, towing, we saw it yesterday. You know, he came second in the towing. He's such a smart competitor. He knows what he can do. He knows what works for him, and he's really good at kind of maximizing all those opportunities. So yeah, put together really nicely. 21.54 now. Starboard score of a 12.66. So the judges really, really like that Skopu there.
Absolutely, he is absolutely flying and on fire. And at the same time, you know, Jamie makes it look always so relaxed. He looks always so calm. He looks like he's enjoying it. You know, you never get really the feeling that he's under pressure, that he feels stressed or so. So that's pretty amazing. And look at that beautiful drone shot. Just cruising on the inside of the bay. Beautiful. Okay, we can see him going in switch, coming on the inside. Let's see what we get in the last 1.5 minutes.
There's the air funnel there from Jamie, but doesn't manage to make it. That would have meant he put a really nice heat score together. And a big forward there from George Grisley as well.
Unfortunately, not completely landed at the end. A little bit of a wet one. And we're going into the last minute of this heat. Yeah, I would say, I mean, Jamie is quite ahead with 21.54 points versus George 6.4. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer for George. He was not really able to really show his potential, unfortunately, and all the skills he has got during winter. But yeah, we can just repeat ourselves. I mean, he's one of the bigger, heavier riders, and Jamie was definitely having the advantage here and making the most out of the conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, yeah, it's kind of part of the game, and you just got to take it for what it is. You know, if you don't conditions, you just got to make sure that you don't end up kind of blaming your skills. You know, if it's not windy enough, it's not windy enough. You know, and you potentially need to go right. I need to go and train these moves on a larger sail. Or yeah, that's kind of all you can do really. I think George's biggest sail is a 4.8. I think that's what he's on there, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, you know, a shame for George. You know, not managing to put the scores down on port tack. You know, he's got the burner, you know, he's got those moves, but yeah, difficult.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's life. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, and that was the horn of the judges. That means the end of this heat. So congratulations, Jamie, advancing with 21.54 versus George with a 6.4. I mean, Jamie, incredible. He's he's one of these riders who has also improved a lot throughout the winter, a lot compared to last year. So very happy for him, very stoked. I mean, hard work really pays off in the end, always, over and over again.
Yeah, 100%. You know, really good to see Jamie's, you know, the training, especially that he's been putting on the foil, starting to pay off. So yeah, he will be advancing through into the next round. But next up is another Brouwersdam battle, Greta. We have Tigo Court going up against Bodie Kempen.
Oh my God, this is really a pure Brouwersdam battle. I mean, Tigo, Bodhi, yeah, they're traveling together, they're training together, they're one of these, they're boys of the Brouwersdam gang, as we like to call them. So it's a very, very interesting matchup. I mean, they know perfectly what the other is capable to do. So yeah, very, very interesting to see what is gonna happen there now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a really tough one to call. Tigo putting in a really, really great performance. You know, he obviously seeded a bit higher than Bodhi Kempen. You know, I feel like he took to the foil style. You know, and he's got a really nice repertoire of moves that work really well for him. So yeah, it's a one to call. If I'm honest, I've got to say, you know, Tigo is probably gonna. You know, if I was a betting man, Greta, I would probably have to put my money on Tigo just because he's put in such a great performance in the single elimination that's finding him seeded further up the rankings in the double. So yeah, I would say that. But equally, you know, Bodhi on his day, he's got loads of the moves and he's quite ambidextrous as well. You know, he does stuff both sides. So yeah, this is going to be a really, really interesting matchup.
I mean, what's for sure, they're both incredibly talented. They're young. So there's definitely a very glory future ahead for them in the foil style, and obviously not only. So yeah, let's have a look here at the stats. I mean, both of them are actually on foil style since last year. So they're not new to this discipline, trained a lot or training a lot on it. And yeah, we can see they're actually very close, not only in their age, also point-wise. I mean, Bodhi having an average heat score a little bit further. But let's see, everything is open today, and it's a little bit like a refresh after the winter. So let's see who had a better training and who is able to transmit that today into today's heat. And obviously also who's the one being able to just feeling stronger in these kind of conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's so many variables at play here. So on the left-hand side, we have Bodhi Kempen on the Severn equipment, and then on the orange and purple sail on the right-hand side, that is Tigo Core on the JP Neal Pride. So yeah, see, I think we are now into this heat for sort of 10 seconds in. Bodhi Kempen starting off, ducking the sail, and we'll jump round a really nice culo. Super clean there. Full rig flip. I would say Tigo's going to try and answer with one of his own, but he goes down.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, it looked a little bit wobbly, and then nosedive, and that was it for Tigo. But let's see, he will be very fast up. Let's see, maybe not. I mean, he's on the inside, so obviously it's not too windy. And we see Bodhi already on the way out again, pumping it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Bodhi starting off really, really nicely there. 4.48 coming in for Bodhi Kempen for that culo. As we see, yeah, Tigo kind of water starting. Hopefully he can kind of shake that off, you know, not let it affect his mindset too much, and just straight into it again.
Exactly. All right, let's see what we get next. We see Bodhi on the outside going in switch, looking for another gust maybe. Tigo also. I mean, they look both very stable and actually breezed on. So I think the wind is quite good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the wind has definitely kind of filled in. It does seem perfect for Foilstyle. Sadly, you know, I don't think it's going to be strong enough for the, you know, for anything on the fin, all the windsurfers out there. You can see a few of the other riders out there sort of trying, but realistically, yeah, it's very much sort of foil conditions out there. Taking a look at the other windsurfers.
And then we saw Bodhi going in the water on the outside, having a little bit of a crash. Bodhi fully creasing. Oh, what a beautiful image. Have a look at this. All right. Ducking the sail. Let's see. Oh! Ooh, is he able to save it? Yes. A nice one. Oh, that was a nice one from Tigo. Perfectly landed just on top of the board, on top of the foil. That will definitely add some more points for him.
Yeah, exactly. It was a really interesting culo there. I mean, he kind of ducked in. It didn't look like it was a very good, you know, it was a bit too far back. It didn't look like he was that comfortable, but I guess that just goes to show, you know, his level of skill in that he was suddenly able to be like, nope, I'm bringing this thing back up and forwards, and then just really threw himself around. And it's just a testament to his skills and the amount of control that he has on the foil. So yeah, really nice to see him put some points on the board. You know, both of them sitting there. You can see Tigo's culo actually coming in with a higher score, 4.8. As we see Bodhi Kempen ducking the sail again. He's already got the culo. Ah, yeah. Again, I'd say he probably wanted the Kono, but that was a perfect Kulo duck. It's like the irony there. He wanted the duck that Tigo did earlier.
Yeah, he interrupted and he's on its way out again. Just didn't felt it in that moment. Didn't have a good moment for it. So let's see what we get next from Tigo. Cruising, effortless, going on the outside. Ducking the sail, but unfortunately also lost it there and went down on the outside. Yeah, I don't know. All right, and then we see
Yeah,
Tigo up
difficult
next
one there.
again, cruising on the outside.
Yeah, difficult for Tigo there. Just didn't quite get the lift, you know, as he ducked the sail there. So choosing just to turn around was definitely the right idea. Bodie Kempen there, kind of wanting the shaka, but it didn't quite go. He kind of just did a bit of a wheelie. He decided not to take off in the air, fall in. I know the heats are long, but you want to try and maximize every opportunity you can. Stay on the board, keep up and riding. Really cool angle here we're seeing here. Tigo, you know, he's got loads of speed there. Cool to see the foil kind of cruising along under the water there as well. You know, looks really stable. As we see him locking into that back foot strap, lining up a move. I think we're going to see the Kono. He's already done the Kulo. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he does do the shaka on this side actually as well, so potentially looking for a shaka.
Ooh!
Oh, really sick there from Tigo. That upwind
Beautiful.
burner rotation. There it is, the air bob.
Oh yeah, here we go. There we go with Sandy's air bob. You have been missing it already today, right? Dreaming about it from
Absolutely.
yesterday.
That was a really, really cool air. But I know, but it's another one of those moves, Greta. The reason I've kind of highlighted it so much is I saw, you know, the video of Leonard Neubauer doing one in Bonaire, and it was the first time we'd seen it on the foil. So I was wondering if we'd see them in competition as well. And there it is, a really nice air bob from Bodie. Got a bit wet at the end, but you know, cool to see them mixing it up. Bit of innovation, trying the kind of more the moves we're used to seeing on the fin in the foil. You know, really great to see. Tigo, of course, you know, we didn't talk about it enough. You know, really, really nice kind of upwind burner rotation there from him as well. So definitely adding some points on the other side for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you say, I mean, this image is just insane. When the water is so clear and you can literally see the front wing of the foil and this kind of movement through the water, it's amazing. It's just so beautiful. And Tigo really looks comfortable on the foil, you know. He really looks relaxed. It looks effortless and, yeah, beautiful. Just a beautiful image.
Yeah, really, really good there. Yeah, Tigo, as I said, you know, we can't count him out, putting together a really, really nice heat score. And there's the shaka as well. Really adding some points on the board. He's getting into that flow state that we were talking about earlier, Greta. You know, letting your brain kind of relax, and just as you land a move, you know, it gives you that bit more confidence, and then that confidence just keeps going. So yeah, Tigo with a current heat score 13-8. So just missing those scores on port tack. So, you know, heading out, he's going to really want to start trying to maximize that, you know, getting his switch moves in. Bodie Kempen trailing with a 7.35, so also has a fair bit of work to do on port. I know Bodie's got a really good shaka on port, so it just doesn't seem like he's found the right time for him to do one. He wants the air bob again.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree, Sandy. So, yeah, we're going into the last 2.5 minutes of this heat. Tigo versus Bodie, boys from the Brouwersdam crew. And yeah, so far Tigo looks just very, very comfortable. Oh, just going out. No, saving it. Just at the very edge.
There
yeah,
it is.
I mean, Tigo really looks on fire, actually. He looks very comfortable within this heat.
Yeah, absolutely, and it will still add to his heat score. So you can see, yeah, 2.77 for that. So, you know, not the highest score, not the highest scoring move, but, you know, ultimately it's just about putting some points on the board. You know, obviously we're getting towards the end of the heat now. You know, I wouldn't say he's building the house anymore. You know, he's built that. But, you know, points are points at the end of the day. And, yeah, he's really establishing quite a clear lead now over Bodie. Yeah, Bodie's got some real work next minute and 50 seconds. Not quite getting the lift on that shaka, really out of character there.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because we did see that already, like, for the second time now. I don't know, maybe we can catch up with him afterwards and ask if there was a little issue out there or if the wind was too light. Maybe let's get some insights afterwards from Bodie to understand what happened there with his usually huge shakas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because, you know, usually he's got that move, you know, absolutely down. And let's see what Tigo's got. Going for the Skopu. But just a switch Kono. Again, that will be a scoring move, but, really not what he wants.
All right, so we
Bodhi
have another
Kempen coming in
beautiful
as well.
drone shot of Bodhi coming inside the bay. Let's see if he's able to pull off a nice maneuver just in front of the judges here, in front of the beach. Also answering with a Scopo, but unfortunately not enough lift there, going down at the end. Yeah, seems like Bodhi is a little bit missing out on the power here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know, his sail looks big though. It look, Bodhi's a tall guy. It looks like he's on, that must be like a 4.8 at least. So I don't think it's like he's on a small sail or anything. Maybe he's just having an off day. We maybe got up very early this morning. Maybe he's just not in that flow state like we were talking about. But Tigo really, is putting together a nice heat as we get into 15 seconds left of this heat. Has he got one more move in the tank? And no, he will jibe round. He looks a bit unstable there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
there it
the
is.
end of that heat.
Exactly. We just hear the horn of the judges. That was it for heat. Tigo versus Bodhi. And shout out to Tigo. I mean, very nice result, very nice heat, nice moves, cleanly landed with a score of 18.86 in total. And yeah, he will be advancing into the next heat. I'm sure he must be very, very happy. And yeah, Bodhi unfortunately was not really able to show his true potential out there in that moment. But hey, next one.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel bad. I did call it. I said I would put my money on Tigo, and I think at the start I wasn't too sure, but I think Tigo definitely found his rhythm. Bodhi unfortunately still did the air bob, so I'm stoked that we saw that in a heat. It wasn't the cleanest one that he'd have wanted, but really great again to see that innovation and see them bringing kind of new moves into this discipline of freestyle windsurfing. So yeah, really, really great to see. Both riders can be proud of their performances, and we will see Tigo moving through into the next round.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure Bodhi got inspired yesterday by all these different moves and tricks from Steven and Leonard, and it was cool to see him taking it into his own heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And taking a look at some of the replays that we've got going on here.
Nice one from Tigo. Somehow he saved a lot of moves at the very end, where it was like this, where it's really about this second where you're like standing or falling. And I don't know how he does it, a little bit like a cat, but he was able to save it most of the time. So very well done, Tigo.
Yeah, and there's the air bob there. So yeah, coming round, but just coming out clue first there. Really struggling to stay over the middle of the board. Nice shaka there from Tigo. Had to take insight
so
with
high.
Tigo.
Very nice.
Yeah, really nice. Tigo actually only learned to shaka a couple of years ago. We had some fun conversations. The first year or so that I was commentating on the tour, I think it was 2021. Tigo was like, he had all these moves, but he's like, I still can't shaka. So we made a bit of a bet that I would learn to kulo and he would learn to shaka. And then of course we came back the next year and he had learned to shaka and I had not learned to kulo. Once again, showcasing his skills for why I'm here talking and why he's out there windsurfing. So he picked that move. He picked that move up really quickly, and now he's made his way straight into learning it on the foil as well, and he's got it down. You rarely see him crashing it now. He's picked moves up so quickly. It's really great to see.
Absolutely, and I mean Tigo is definitely one of those guys who's not showing off, not talking about his skills, and then he's just on the water and have a look, guys. Here I am, and let the move speak for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So next up, Greta, we have Jamie Howard going up against Ego Core. So looking at the heat scores from the last matchups, Jamie, if they say that last heat they just did, both of them just did respectively against each other, Jamie would have advanced over Tigo. So Jamie potentially has the upper hand if you look at the statistics. However, there are a lot more variables to it than that, as you said earlier, Greta.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I would say they're both warmed up right now. Jamie is definitely a little bit of a lighter sailor compared to Tigo. More or less, they're at the same body size, I would say, body height. And yeah, I mean, Tigo just came off of the water, so I hope he won't be too tired. But yeah, that's c'est la vie. That's competition life. So this is going to be a very interesting one. And I mean, they're both very talented, skilled riders with their both very unique style. So very interesting one coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a really tough one to call. I mean, obviously, I've got to do it, Greta. I've got to back the Brit. I've got to back Jamie Howard. You know, he's a very, very, very close friend of mine. You know, spent a lot of time windsurfing with him over the years. Has a we cannot discount Tigo Court and the skills, the Flying Dutchman. So yeah, this is going to be a really, really cool matchup to see. You know, Jamie fairly a bit newer to the foil style than Tigo, but yeah, this is going to be an exciting one. And we are into the business end now of this double elimination. So as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, Jamie Howard up against Tigo Court, and the way the double elimination works, essentially the winner just moves on to the next one straight away. So the winner of this heat will go up against Tim Gerdes, the winner of that against Steven van Broekhoven, and so on down. Until the eventual winner will go up against the winner of the single elimination, Leonard Neubauer. They will sail once and then they will sail again. So yeah, this is going to be a really exciting few heats. So yeah, make sure that you don't go.
This is going to be epic, I tell you. So it's Sunday afternoon. It's 4 o'clock. So make sure, get a cold beer, make yourself comfy in front of the screen, computer, wherever you're sitting, and make sure to don't miss out on that, because it's getting more and more exciting in every heat. And yeah, I mean, both of the riders, Tigo and obviously also Jamie, they totally deserve it. Both of them, both super nice riders, super talented riders. So here it's really about the details now, you know. The landings. I mean, we've been talking over and over about the landings. Let's see. They both have really clear landings, actually. I mean, at least in the previous heats. So let's see if they're able to put that back on paper right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, we've been discussing it, you know, the whole time during the foil style, and I think that it's something the judges said as well, and even in the tow-in yesterday, they put a real focus on the landings now. You know, they want to see moves being stomped, riders landing, you know, not sort of falling in the water and sort of water starting back out, which is very, very difficult to do. But as the sport progresses, the way that it's judged also needs to progress in order to encourage that progression. And I think that's what we're seeing with the way it's being judged. And I think that the riders are responding really well to it. You know, they're putting a bit more focus in it, you know. As that does mean, you know, right, okay, I can't be as radical with this because I want to make sure that I land it well. But actually for the spectators, but also for the judges, for everyone, that it kind of makes for a better show, you know, rather than kind of falling in the water and spending a few seconds sort of water starting out. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting way of doing that judging. And yeah, we're just waiting for the riders to be getting out and getting ready. You know, given that Tigo had just sailed this heat, I think they're just resetting the clock. And as you can hear the horn there, that is the riders getting up and ready for this next heat.
Absolutely. I mean, we can just see on the screen Jamie getting ready, set the time on his clock, and off we go. I mean, this was just a beautiful shot. Did you see that image before of the Bay of Vieste being, yeah, just water sports paradise for everyone? Look at these watercolors. I mean, a couple of hours ago, we've been sitting here in the pouring rain, lightning, thunderstorms. Incredible that the day has changed so much into something so beautiful for the rest of the day. I'm very, very surprised, to be honest, and I'm super, super glad that we get the opportunity to run this double elimination now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's really really good that we've been able to enjoy the conditions here. You know, finally, obviously, the thunderstorm this morning clearing, and yeah, great to see the beautiful watercolors coming back, the clouds clearing, and yeah, that sort of normal wind direction coming in. Obviously, longer, but equally, it's perfect for us to be able to run this foil style. And yeah, as we see, we're following Jamie Howard out now into the competition area where he will be going up against Mr. Tigo Court.
Oh, this looks so dreamy. Oh, I get itchy feet, you know. I also want to jump out there. It makes me a little bit nervous seeing him cruising out like this. Super, super dreamy. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always difficult for us, Greta. We have to sit here and watch it. You know, we don't get to go and partake in it. But hey, we definitely can't complain about our jobs. I don't think we get to sit and watch windsurfing. You know, it's not too
Absolutely
bad.
Not.
Yeah, definitely. definitely sometimes you're like, well, I wouldn't mind, you know, getting out there, getting the feet wet, you know, getting the sea legs back. But yeah, Jamie just enjoying that little cruise around. As I said, guys, we were just waiting. You know, they're just restarting the clock. Obviously, Tigo having just finished that last heat. So yeah, you know, it's to give him a bit of an opportunity to sort of sort himself out. You know, it's not necessarily fair to be like, right, you've done one heat, you've won it, now you're going straight into the next one. You're giving him only a couple of minutes.
Exactly. Now it's
So yeah,
important to give the rider a little break.
Until the start.
Exactly. 1 minute to the start. Tigo just got a little moment to breathe, to drink, and off we go again, catching his breath. And both riders are going on the outside. And while we're waiting for the horn to get off by the judges, and in the meantime, we have a look at the foil stats. Yeah, I mean, we can just repeat ourselves. Jamie versus Tigo, very, very nice heat coming up. Both of them not new to this discipline. Both of them improved a lot throughout the year. And yeah, very interesting to see how much they actually improved and how much they're able to show this now in this heat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm to it. And there it goes. The heat has started. There's the horn. So yeah, straight into it. Let's see what these guys have got for us. Both heading in opposite directions there. So Jamie Howard heading out to see Tigo Court coming in. Let's see what they've got for us. So we're following Jamie Howard at the moment. Let's see, there's a little couple of pumps there, you know, to keep himself up and going. I would say we're going to open with a Shaka like we saw last time. But equally, let's just wait and see. Could be a cooler as well. He's definitely got those locked down. Yeah, just depends on the wind conditions and if he sees a nice little ramp. And yeah, we're going for that Shaka. And
here
there
we go,
it is.
Shaka
Really
Laka
nice.
for the start. I mean, you felt it, huh?
Yeah,
You
textbook.
felt it.
100% felt that Shaka energy and a nice culo there from Tigo, getting a bit stuck at the end. But yeah, he will sail away from a culo as well. So really good start for both of these riders in this heat.
Definitely, and first scores are already coming in. 4.8 for Tigo, or sorry, Tigo. We constantly say it wrong, Sandy. We need to remember that it's Dutch and that we need to pronounce the G like so it's Tigo.
Yeah, same as Tim's surname. Yeah, I was shouted and we went to browse them. They all with me. Yeah, I will try better. Sorry, cigarette.
Me too, both of us. All right,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
up on the screen, Jamie going on the inside. Let's see what we get next. Oh, tourists, please, out of the water because the guys are on foils.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could see the jet ski just moving, you know, cutting through Jamie's path there, but I think it was for a good reason. You know, obviously to make sure that everyone is out of the competition area. It's difficult when you're in a water sports destination like this that is busy, but we are seeing Jamie stepping into switch, and let's see what he's got for us. You know, I'd say probably going to see another burner as he ducks the sail. Oh, he's got the Skopu.
Nice, also saved it in the end.
Will be nice.
I mean,
Yeah,
not-
really well done.
Especially on the inside where there is less wind. So yeah, well done, mate. Well done, buddy.
Yeah, 100%. Not easy to be doing. As you said, the wind is a lot lighter inside. Nice Shaka there from Tigo as well. Both of these guys on fire. They're just answering each other move for move.
Oh, yes. So let's see. Moves are coming in. They're getting, getting more moves in. So good to see. They're also finding their rhythm and getting in more regularly. Oh, okay, so here we go. Another tourist in the way. Let's see what Jamie's doing. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's difficult there.
Some
Yeah,
traffic out there
managed to
today.
get up
Some
and above it.
traffic. Oh, God.
Yeah, a bit of traffic. As we see Jamie duck in the sail, you can see he's trying to line up with that nice bit. And there is the culo from Jamie as well. Oh, made that look so easy. So that will add nicely to his port tax score.
I mean, he's still feeling the vibe. Huh? I can see he's still loving it, just in the previous heat.
Yeah, he's definitely enjoying it. So 11.47 overall. A port tax score coming in at 8.6 those two moves. So yeah, he's putting in some really, really nice scores. Yeah, on starboard tack, yeah, you know, that that Skopu wasn't ideal, but still managed to put some points up and is definitely I would say we're probably going to see the burner now.
Let's see, he's coming in speedy on the inside of the bay. Let's see if we will be able to execute something just in front of the judges here. And we have a little ducky going round in switch and going on the outside again. Now repositioning. Some pumps and on the way outside again.
Just sort of ran out, looked like he kind of ran out of steam a bit there.
Yeah, definitely looked like it. All right, so 4.5 minutes to go. Half of the heat is already over. So the guys are still quite close. I mean, it could change in the blink of an eye. I mean, this is what we see constantly in our heats. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so far Jamie is feeling comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like actually, as we're seeing there, Teagle Court has overtaken Jamie 13.34, so he has put some extra moves down on port tack, so on the way out, and that will replace him as the leader. So yeah, that burner, that coming in, a really nice score there, and that will add to Teagle's port tack score. So yeah, Jamie really needs to get to work on starboard tack. All he needs is a burner of his own, and I'd say that will see him back up into the lead again. But now we're starting to see a bit of a Jamie Howard 13.97. Oh no, has replaced it again. So yeah, his port tack score being upgraded ever so slightly. I think that shove it coming in that Jamie just did as well, that will just slightly bump up. So as remember, it is the best 3 moves on each side that count. So yeah, Jamie only just overtaken, but you can see his starboard score is still really weak. He's only got that 1 move, that Skopu at the beginning. So yeah, if he can come in and do that burner, he's going to put himself ahead of Teagle quite comfortably, I would say.
Oh my God, but they're so close. Look at this. Oof.
Yeah, this anyone's game at the moment. Jamie Howard in switch, 3 minutes left to go. Let's see what he's got for us. Ducking that sail, a bit into the wind, but he will save it. Really nice burner there from Jamie, really sick. Yeah, that's going to really affect his scores there. That's going to bump his starboard score right up. Yeah, and right in front of Teagle there as well.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see, that your competitor is doing something just in perfection in front of your eyes. Yeah, no. All right, let's see. Teagle on the outside in switch. Let's see what we get next. 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, that's put him right up. 18.25 for Jamie. So yeah, extending his lead by almost 5 points. So yeah, Teagle's going to have to got a bit of work to do. Going for that Skopu, but just didn't quite manage to come down over the board enough. So we'll just settle for a switch Kono. So we'll still get a score for that, but it's not going to be enough for what he needs really for to keep up with Jamie. As we see Jamie going for that downwind 360 burner, and he will save it.
I mean, look, he did it just again. He's saving it over and over again, and he does it with so much grace, catching the sail at the bottom, and there we go, it's standing. It's really nice, actually. It's pretty unique the way he does it, compared to the other riders. Super nice.
Yeah, it's definitely quite a unique style, but yeah, so 18.64, Teagle Court's score coming in at 16.55 after that switch Kono. So yeah, Jamie's still with the edge. It looks like he will potentially be advancing through. 1 minute and 30 seconds left. I don't want to speak too early here. There's still anyone's game. There's only 2 points in it. But currently, yeah, with just over 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, Jamie Howard leading this heat.
Oh, yes. And I mean, it's still a pretty tight one. It's only, less than 2 points of difference. And they both really want it. There's a lot of passion in this heat, actually, because they're straight away answering with a move as soon as one guy pulls out another one. And yeah, we can just repeat ourselves. I mean, Foilstyle is a very proactive discipline. We see the riders constantly pumping. I mean, it needs some work to get the foil out of the water. And obviously then pulling up the move and maybe eventually, water starting again. So in general, it's definitely a very, very proactive discipline.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to put the work in. As we see Teagle Court going round, is he going to go for that burner? Oh, he's got that move dialed in. Really sick. You even saw him there. He looked quite pleased with that. That could be a bit of a change there. Oh, that's so sick.
I think he was a little bit impressed by himself. Look at his face. Yes! See! He looks relieved a little bit.
100%, yeah, he looked quite surprised there. We've got Jamie Howard in switch. If Jamie can get a nice Skopu here, potentially an air funnel, I think that would really help him. There's the scope. Nah, he's just not got enough power there. And that is the end of that heat.
That's it.
Let's wait and see. I don't know, that burner. That burner
I also
from
don't
Tigo
know.
could change everything.
Let's see. Oh, I'm excited. I can't tell. And Jamie will be advancing. Wow, that was a very, very close one. Oof, very close one. Even closer. Okay, then we have Jamie. Oh, what is going on here? Okay, let's wait for a sec.
No, points changing.
Points are still changing. Let's wait for a second.
So yeah, it looks like, actually, with the score for that being in for Tigo Court, it looks like Tigo will be winning the heat by literally 0.2 of a point.
Oh my God!
So yeah, we're
crazy.
just going to wait. I think the judges are on the beach still, and I think they're still they're just going to take a look at it again and add everything up. Obviously, they wanted to make sure they take their time over this. So yeah, I don't want to call anything here, but yeah, what a close heat that was. That was such a great battle.
That was amazing. I mean, this is exactly what we predicted. They're both on the same level. They both have the skills. And yeah, this is actually what we just saw in this heat. I mean, they answered straight away with moves after each other's. And yeah, it's been super, super exciting to see such a close heat. I think this was the closest one of all we have seen so far. I mean, literally 0.2 points of difference. That's like, I mean, that's really nothing. That's a breath, you know?
100%. Yeah. There's really very little in it, and when they're this close, you know, you can see that's the judges sitting there looking out, and you can see them having a bit of a discussion. On the left, the head judge there, you know, discussing what they're thinking, and yeah, how they're going to be scoring this. So yeah, we'll just wait and see to get a full rundown of what they're going for with this. Yeah, tell, isn't it? You know, Tigo really switched on towards the end of that heat. You know, managing to pull out a few moves. So it looks like we're getting a bit of an announcement now.
All right, and it's confirmed. Tigo won by 0.2. Oh my God, what a close match. Damn it. I mean, totally deserved. Both of them, they totally deserved it. Obviously, it hurts more when it's that close. But still, I mean, JB can be super, super proud. The show he pulled off. And amazing. Congratulations to both of them. And to be honest, I really saw the judges also with big question marks in their face. I think they've been also struggling to really, make the right decision here. But there we are. Winner of this heat. Tigo, congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really great effort from both riders. But yeah, it will be Tigo Court going through into the next round as we take a look at some of the replays. So yeah, Jamie Howard putting together a really, really nice heat and was leading for basically the entire time. And it was literally just that burner that Tigo's got just absolutely nailed in that just made all of the difference. I think Jamie was just missing a move on starboard tack there. So that was his Skopu there. And I don't think he quite managed to improve on that. He had that and a really nice burner. But yeah, if he'd managed to get another move on starboard tack, I think he'd have been a bit more comfortably ahead of Tigo and have a bit more wiggle room for error. But yeah, sadly for Jamie, yeah, you know, Tigo just putting in that awesome burner, you know, and it shows, you know, Tigo, one of the guys that was out in Bonaire, you know, training and doing the foil style and putting the time in on the water. And I think that's what's really helped pay off after this heat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I mean, they both had their time to shine, and they definitely did within this heat. I mean, closest heat of the day, most exciting one so far for sure. And yeah, congratulations just to both of them.
Absolutely, yeah. So next up, Tigo is going to be sailing his third heat in a row now, and he will be going up against his fellow Brouwersdam rider, Tim Gelders. Yeah, this is going to be a really exciting matchup again. And again, once again, I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And we're continuing with the Brouwersdam matches, you know. I mean, just buddies competing against each others. And yeah, I hope for Tigo, that he won't be too tired. I mean, 3 heats in a row is definitely not for everybody. And you need to be quite trained in cardio, you know, with all the pumping and going in and out. But I'm sure he will be able to manage. And I mean, he's in great shape. He's young, so he can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen it before, in double eliminations. This happens quite a lot. Yentl Kers is the perfect example, of a bit of a comeback king. Sometimes going out early in the single elimination, but actually, as you start to build momentum, you start to build that kind of level of confidence. And as I said earlier, you get into that flow state, and then before you know it, you've ended up going through a few heats, kind of almost like without realizing, because you're just in that frame of mind where you're like, do the moves. And we've seen it so many, Gulito Estredo as well, really, really famous for it in that double elimination, just find himself getting through 7 or 8 heats at a time. And yeah, Yentl Kers as well, who is going to be up in a couple of heats time. I think it's definitely, we've seen these guys that just rinse through a load of heats. So I think Tigo's having one of those moments right now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, this is something that makes the double elimination actually so exciting, Riders getting the chance to the second chance to showcase what they're really able of. And yeah, these comebacks, as Yentl uses to do them and he's famous for, are just, super, super exciting to see and just crazy. And I mean, Tigo now for third heat in a row, incredible. But yeah, still a very exciting afternoon ahead of us. It's 4:30 here, and the wind looks actually quite stable still. So, looking forward what is about to come.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, we're getting into the real business end of it now. The winner of the next heat, Tim Curtis up against Tigo Court. The winner of that going up against Steven van Broekhoven. Winner of that against Yentl Kers. And then finally, winner of that going up against Mr. Lennart Neubauer. So yeah, this is going to be a really exciting few heats coming up. And it looks like the wind is staying pretty consistent now as well. Looks perfect for Foilstyle. The first heats, there was a bit of kind of up and down. But in the last couple of heats especially, we've seen the riders are just up on the foils the whole time. Which is great to see. It's nice that we've got some kind of stable conditions. So hopefully we're going to be able to get through the rest of this double elimination.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely what we are hoping for, getting really into the super final. That would be amazing. And let's see. So fingers crossed, everybody out there watching, listening, please send over some love to VIESTE, to Southern Italy. And make sure to leave us also some comments. If you have questions, if you're wondering, if you want to leave us a comment for whatever, you're more than welcome. We're happy about it. And obviously we will get back to the riders as well for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for, as we get into the next heat. So again, I think they're having a slight break, obviously to give Tigo a moment to sort of sort himself out, catch his breath, and then we will be jumping straight back in with Tigo Court up against Tim Curtis. Tim is definitely one to watch. He really surprised everyone in the Foilstyle last year. So obviously going into this year, there was perhaps a bit more of an expectation on him. But I mean, he definitely lived up to it. Coming fourth in the Foilstyle, really, really impressive work. And yeah, let's wait and see if he can get himself a bit higher up in this double elimination. I mean, he's got to go up against his training partner essentially in Tigo Court. I mean, I have no clue which one of them I'm meant to root for. Which one of them I think is going to be taking the win of this one. I couldn't call it. Both of them are such great sailors.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, it's also impossible to set a name right now. What is amazing is that they're training together. I'm wondering, because if you know your competitor so well and you know what his qualities are, how much they are thinking about it throughout the heat, Are they maybe thinking like, okay, I'm sure he will pull out this, so maybe I could do that because I can do better this. So that's actually an important or interesting point that we maybe could discuss later with them. But yeah, both super young talents, and I'm sure Tim, after this morning being fourth in the single elimination, I'm sure he's super, super hot for it and wants to come back now, so he will give it all, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see both riders there. They're just waiting for syncing the watches up, so they make sure they're on the right timings with the judges, and you can hear the countdown there in the background. So that is them getting out there now and getting ready for this heat. You can see definitely, as we were saying, the wind is a lot lighter right in there by the beach. You see they've got to walk themselves out past the sandbar. You've got to be careful with that coming in. And then it's definitely a bit windier further out You know, we saw Steven van Broekhoven especially that was just spending a bit of time, you know, further out towards the other end of the competition area to really maximise his chances of getting some power during the moves.
Absolutely. I mean, despite the wind being lighter right now, it still seems that, yeah, all of the riders actually so far had better heats than this morning. The problem this morning was definitely the strong gusts, which kind of came out of nowhere, as Jenschel said, quoted by him. I mean, it's been perfect for foiling as well this morning, but unfortunately the gusts created some big problems for all the riders, especially in the landings, and we could clearly see that the landings have been, yeah, just executed almost in perfection by all of the riders throughout the past heats. So now I'm glad that they got some good conditions now to actually perform the way they should be able to perform, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it looks like really, really nice foil style conditions out there. You know, I mean, it's difficult for me to say, but it's definitely still on the lighter end. I'd say most, you know, riders are on sort of that sort of 5.2, 4.8. You know, probably like sort of 12 to 14 knots maybe, but fairly similar conditions to what we had here last year, to be honest. But as long as it stays stable, I think that's the most important thing. You know, it helps you be able to foil at all times. And actually, it's remarkable how wind you have. You know, at a true wind, we call it, because once you're up and going and you're going fast, you know, why windsurfing is so great is because you get that apparent wind as well. So, you know, especially for like the ducking maneuvers, the culos, the burners, things like that, you know, it feels like there's, you know, more power in the sail, especially once it's ducked, and you can really kind of throw yourself around. And that's why we get to see these radical moves in such light winds.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, consistency is always the key. It doesn't matter in what in life. So that's definitely the key, and we're almost on our way for heat number 26, Tycho versus... No, excuse me. I just misread. Tycho versus Tim. So yeah, exciting one coming up. Rauersdam boys on their way, ripping together and now ripping against each other in that upcoming heat.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're seeing Tim Gerdes up the screen there. He has the designated foil sail, the foil freak. So yeah, 4 battens. And yeah, so, you know, the aim is essentially giving it a little bit more power, you know, a little bit more bag in the sail. And there it is. There is the start of this heat. So yeah, Tim Gerdes up on your screen. Or on the orange and purple sail on the left-hand side of your screen that you're looking at right now.
Exactly. Coming on the inside, Tycho. Coming on the inside of the bay, and on the outside we have Tim Gerdes.
Both with a culo on each side. Nice. Good, great way to open the heat.
Almost in synchro. The one on the inside, the one on the outside, but almost at the same time. And both landed. So, yeah, let's see what the judges are thinking. Okay, 4.3 as an opener, 4.37 as an opener for Tycho, 4.01 for Tim. And we see them pumping, going up again. I mean, they're almost doing the competition in parallel, you know. It's a little bit like a mirror so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Just holding a mirror up to each other, and that's the moves that we're seeing going on. So yeah, Tim coming in. You know, he's definitely got those switch moves. Let's see what he's going to pull out. I'd say probably we're going to see those sort of burners. And there it is, Tim stepping into switch. It looks like he's got a bit of power behind him. Let's see what he's got. So ducking that sail, plenty of power. And there's the burner. Really nice there from Tim. Consistent,
nice one,
so
clean.
consistent with his moves.
Yeah, definitely. And nice landings. I mean, obviously not to take anything away from his skills, but Tim obviously entered this heat way fresher than Tycho, that's for sure. Rested and able to pull off his moves. Let's see if Tycho can still catch up with the skills and the moves from the previous 2 heats.
Yeah, exactly. That to consider. You know, this is Tycho's 3rd heat in a row. You know, so whilst he may have found that flow state, you know, there may be a bit of fatigue starting to settle in now. and hopefully not the kind of overthinking. But yeah, Tim's been just chilling out, waiting for his shot. So yeah, he is coming into this a lot fresher. But so far, Tigo doesn't look like he's struggling at all. You know, he definitely doesn't seem to be feeling the pressure. And you're putting in a couple of really nice moves. You know, he's already got a nice score on starboard tack. Tim currently leading, but only by, you know, just over half a point. So yeah, this is still all to play for as we get to just under 6.5 minutes left to go of this heat.
Exactly. Nice cruisy shot of Ticho going on the outside. Beautiful. No, he doesn't seem tired at all so far. I mean, we really have to admit that. So shout out already for that. Yeah, adding a little shaka to his scoreboard also. And let's see what we get next. Going into switch.
Yeah, so Tim with the burner and the culo, so on each side. So yeah, that's making up his heat score. Tigo currently in switch on port tack. Let's see what he's got. Not the best duck there. Kind of went onto his heels a little bit. Nice air funnel there from Tim. That will really upgrade his score on starboard.
That one was really clean as well, especially on the inside.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, the air funnel is definitely one of those moves. You don't necessarily need as much wind, but you need plenty of speed, plenty of momentum, you know, especially on the foil as well. So, yeah, kind of doing it on the inside, it's definitely one of those moves that we've seen the guys doing right in front of the judges there. So, yeah, that will, yeah, that shot Tim straight up to 12.26. So, a bit more of a comfortable lead over Tigo. Still nothing on port tack, so going out. Nothing for Tigo at the moment. So, yeah, he's going to really want to look to upgrade that especially.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what we get. Ooh!
Oh, he's got that move so dialed in. Really sick there from Tigo.
Nice one. Another very nice landing from him. Super clean. And there we go. And the changes are on. So we have Tigo now in the lead with 12.87 versus Tim 12.26. Oh my God, it's going to be another very close one like before. I can feel it, Sandy. I can feel it. We will not be able to relax until the very end, you know?
Absolutely not. And it seems to be this move every time. This kind of like upwind sort of burner rotation. It's almost like a Pasco. Yeah, it's really, really sick. That sort of, rotation that Tigo's doing. And every time I see him do it, it looks exactly the same. He's just got it absolutely nailed in. And it's what made him win the heat up against Jamie Howard. And it looks like he's now putting the pressure on Tim as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, obviously it helps when you're able to execute a good move in an earlier heat and, you know, okay, the judges liked it. Obviously it makes sense to repeat it, you know. So that was definitely a very good tactic by Tigo.
Yeah, and going for the burner on the outside, but will go down. So, yeah, still yet to put a move in on port tack. You know, he's really starting to lack, and that is potentially to exploit that. You know, if he can have a much more balanced score sheet, you know, he is definitely going to maximize his chances of overtaking Tigo on the scores.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Let's see. 3.5 more minutes to go. It's still a very, very, very close call. I mean, have a look at the scores. 12.8 for Ticho and 13.8 for Tim so far. So everything is still possible. Everything is still able to do.
Yeah, so Tim actually taking the lead back there, 13.8. Oh, Tim trying something a bit different there. Oh, but he will go down on the culo.
I got a little bit stuck with the sail, I think, no?
Yeah, the sail got caught in the water, but, you know, kind of jibed round into regular stance. You know, so went switch and then jibed round into that regular ducked position and tried a culo. We haven't necessarily seen that before, you know, trying to mix things up. You know, and getting a move in on that side. But kind of these really interesting, like, carving entries to these power moves that we're seeing on the foil that we don't see on the fin. You know, really, really kind of changing things up. Tigo really needing to put some work in on port tack. You know, he's got a really great starboard tack. 12.87. That's making up his entire heat score. So, yeah, he's going to really just need to, yeah, we're seeing it now. Yeah, he's just jibing round because he knows that's what he needs to put the work in. You know, even if he can just land one or two moves, you know, he doesn't necessarily need to fill the score sheet. He's so close to Tim at the moment. If he can get one move, a good burner in on port tack, he'll be overtaking Tim straight away.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so a bit less than 2 minutes to go. The boys are making it exciting. Ticho in switch going on the outside. Let's see what we get next on the menu. Ticho on the left side screen on the JP and Nip right. And Ticho also on the Tim also on the outside with the Severn. Oh,
Nice burner there.
Nice burner. Oof. Oh yeah, let's see how that will influence actually the scores. I mean, that will definitely have an impact.
Yeah, and there it is, 16.99 for Tigo. So yeah, 4.12 for that burner. So yeah, as I said, a nice sort of burner score, and that will really, put a bit of pressure on Tim. Tim going down on his own burner there as well. So yeah, not ideal, but Tigo just with that really high starboard tack score, so it just takes any pressure off him a little bit. So yeah, 16.99. So yeah, kind of 3 or 4 points ahead of Tim. So yeah, Tim's got a bit of work to do, and we are just over 40 seconds left of this heat as well. So it's crunch time now.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's the final countdown, literally. Let's see, we can see Ticho cruising on the inside, checking what Tim is doing. Last 20 seconds coming in. He will be jibing on the inside, going for that outside again to work on the ports. Oops. What happened there?
Goes down. I think he just tried to do everything a little bit too quickly there. He really wanted to get round, get his feet into switch and try and get one more move in. But yeah, obviously we've been sticking with Tigo. I'm not sure what Tim's been up to, but that is the end of that heat. And I think it will be Tigo continuing his run and advancing through into the next heat.
And there we go. I mean, shout out to Ticho, third heat in a row, and he managed to do so well. I mean, 16.9 points versus Tim, 13.8. I mean, they pulled off some very nice moves, the both of them, definitely, that's for sure, and we could clearly see Tim's skills as well. But yeah, Tigo was maybe a little bit more warmed up in that case.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what we were saying earlier, the fact that he managed to find that flow state and, he's on that continued run of dominance. He keeps beating people, and with every person he beats, he gets a little bit more confidence, and it just keeps building up and up and up, and that's only gonna continue to help him. However, next up, so he will advance over Tim now, and he will be going up against Steven van Broekhoven. That, let me tell you, that is not an easy heat. That is not going to be an easy heat.
There's nothing easy here anymore, Nothing is easy at all here. No, but definitely. I mean, Steven has been definitely one of the riders standing out the most throughout, this morning, yesterday. Definitely with his Kabikuchi. I mean, I'm curious to see. We will get for sure one more like this. Another attempt at least. And yeah, very curious because, I mean, those two boys are also training a lot together. Steven knows Ticho since a very long time, since his beginnings of windsurf. He was helping me also out a lot, so very curious heat coming up there. And Steven, I mean, fully focusing on Foilstyle since a while, being here mainly for Foilstyle. So, yeah, cool. Very nice one to see. Let's have a look at the replays in the meantime. Yeah, beautiful. Just beautiful. I mean, the way Ticho is landing is so clean and so, stomping it, right? As we said yesterday, just stomping it. Right on top of the board, right above the foil, and super clean. All right, so here we are. This is the next heat matchup that we just mentioned. So, Steven van Broekhoven versus Ticho Korts. Yeah, let's have a look at the stats. I mean, obviously Steven got a lot more experience in it, has some very high scores. I mean, have a look. These numbers basically speaks for themselves, but we don't want to take any way away from Ticho. He's very young, improved a lot. I mean, we could just see him sailing 3 heats out of imperfection, advancing over and over. So very cool heat coming up.
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be a really exciting matchup. Obviously, Steven continuing to innovate within the sport. Doing the first foil Kabikuchi in a heat. The other day before yesterday, So yeah, oh sorry, yesterday. So yeah, definitely not one to count out. But Tigo, has been putting together some really nice results over the last few heats, and I think he's going to have that increased level of confidence. But equally, they travel with Stephen a lot. All the young guys from Brouwersdam. He sails with them. But it's going to be a bit of like a kind of mentor thing of him going up against this guy that's been sort of teaching him a lot. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic, and yeah, I can't wait to see this one unfold.
Absolutely. And Sandy, it's getting spicy. I mean, we're going towards the finals, getting closer and closer, and things are definitely spicing up. We've seen so close heats. I mean, with like 0.2 points of difference, that's just, just insane.
100%. Yeah, spicy is definitely the word. This is going to be really, really exciting matchup. Steven van Broekhoven going up against Tigo Core. Winner of this up against Jentel Cares. And then the winner of that will be going up against Mr. Lennart Neubauer. So yeah, Lennart's been chilling. He just gets to sit there to wait till the end of the day. He did all his work this morning, winning that single elimination. And here's hoping we can get the win to last and get us through to the end of this double elimination as well.
Yeah, literally. I mean, Lennart is sitting, enjoying the show, enjoying what his buddies, his competitors are doing. And but I'm sure it would make me a little bit nervous also, I have to admit. If you sit there and you're watching and you see, okay, round by round, your competitor is coming closer, it's definitely not the most relaxing moment and situation,
No, definitely not. It's going to be a difficult one. The stress is definitely on. There's definitely a bit of pressure piling up now. You can see the crowd gathering on the beach. Enjoying the vibes, enjoying the action, and it's really cool to be able to bring some freestyle to the eyes of everybody watching.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for a couple of hours today, it seemed like the end of the world here in Vieste, but like literally without exaggerating. And now we have full house here at the beach, people enjoying the show, cheering for our riders. Just enjoying the good vibe at the beach. And this is what this place is also for, Oh, have a look at the buddies. A big hug for each other. Well done, buddy. Well done, mate. Happy for each other. And sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Tim doesn't seem too happy, to be honest, though.
Tim can be a bit fiery, I think he, I guess he's just talking about conditions maybe, or the judging. Having a chat with Emmy, the head judge there. A bit of frustration there potentially. Not too sure what it was about. But yeah, it's passions run high. During this competition, it matters to these guys, and that's what we want to see: passion. And sometimes that means good, sometimes that means bad,
Definitely. I mean, being emotional and being passionate is what our sport is all about, because people who windsurfing are fully there with the heart, fully into it, And then obviously when you get to lose, sometimes it gets a bit personal, You take it personal and you need to work it out for a moment, get your piece, sit back, relax again, and then it's good again. But that's also totally understandable, and that's part of the game, and just part of it, You also need to deal with that, and competing is never easy, and it's just something that gets up your soul,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's it's kind of finding that healthy balance of like trying to enjoy it, but and I think only a few guys can sort of strike that balance. They're generally the ones that tend to find themselves up at the top. Lennart was talking about it over the last couple of days. Not putting too much pressure on himself, especially not to what the other riders are doing. With windsurfing, it's not a team sport. It is on you, and at the end of the day, all the eyes are on you. You've kind of only got yourself to blame, kind of thing. You can sit there all day and we love to blame everything else, don't we? It was the wind, it was my sail wasn't rigged properly, it was this, it was that. You've got to be like, look, just on the day I wasn't as good as the other, and that's kind of all there is. That's Emmy, the race director there. It looks like he's just sort of taking a look through some scores. I guess maybe Tim sort of raising a bit of a pro there for as we move into the next heat. So that may explain why there is a little bit of a delay going on now before we get started with the next heat, which is Teagle Court going up against Stephen Van Broek.
Exactly, and as we can see on the screen right now, we are having full house here in beautiful Vieste. Everybody just literally came out of their places. The sun is fully out. Everybody enjoying the rest of the day, which turned out so beautiful, windy, sunny. So it's amazing to have this crowd over here, filled by local Italians, tourists from all over the world. So that's definitely a very, very unique and special vibe over here. And it seems like the discussions are going on between team and head judge Emmy or race director Emmy. Maybe a double check is going on before we continue with the next heats.
Yeah, we're just waiting to see what the results and everything is going to be.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we see all the other riders, also Leonard already being ready for his heat, despite the fact that he still can sit back, relax for a little bit longer, as there's still 2 heats in between. So, yeah, but it's good to be ready. It's always good to be ready, and don't get stressed and a little bit too late into your upcoming heat. So, yeah, definitely all done right, all done correct, and getting ready a bit earlier is always professional. So that's good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we don't know, so it's very difficult for us to know what's going on. But it does look like that Tim is raising a bit of a protest, about the results. So yeah, they will be working out. It looks like we are kind of on a bit of a break at the moment while that is decided, because obviously, if there's a dispute going on, the judges need to take a look at it. It may be that Tim feels like a move wasn't scored, or something like that. So yeah, we are just waiting for full confirmation of that.
Exactly. But in the meantime, we enjoyed the beautiful drone shots of the area. And I mean, we could just see Spiaggia Lunga with the nice camping site of Panini di Mare in the background and the Foresta Umbra in the background. So yeah, we can just repeat ourselves. It's a very nice area, not only for water sports, but also if you want to go cycling, doing other things off the water, it's the perfect vacation here. Exactly,
and we're seeing on screen there, that is the current top 4. So yeah, Teagle going against Stephen Van Broekhoven, a bit of love there. And then obviously the winner of that up against Jentel Cares, still in the yellow jersey from last year. And then finally that will be up against Mr. Leonard Neubauer. So you can see it's all smiles here. It does seem like head judge Emmy is bearing of the frustration, him and Tim in. But yeah, these guys are on the beach putting out the good vibes, which is what we like to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we're here for. Good vibes, love, and enjoying what we love the most, windsurfing, right? Yeah, I'm wondering about the next decision of the judges, because it still seems like they're a little bit on hold, discussing, double checking. I mean, it's always good to do a double check if needed, it's always better to double check, better safe than sorry, that's for sure. So as soon as we get a proper confirmation, we will let you know, obviously, guys. In the meantime, make sure to leave us some comments. Let us know where you are. That's always very interesting for us to know as well. Where are you sitting? Where are you watching from? And obviously you can send over some love to our riders. That would be very, very appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. All the good vibes.
Only good vibes, I would say. Okay, in the meantime, one more drone shots from beautiful Spiaggia Lunga, Vieste. I mean, you can literally see how green the area is, which, yeah, something really, really beautiful. I mean, rich vegetation. I said Gargano is actually a very big national park, one of the biggest of Italy. Very green, a lot of hills, nice hikes, nice mountain bike tracks. So when you come here, you need to make sure to get every sport you can. All right, and we are back. Some more beautiful drone shots of Spiaggia Lunga Beach. As you can see, it is full house.
So as you can see, yeah, we've got next heat is Steven van Broekhoven going up against Tigo Court. So yeah, we are just waiting. I think we've just spoken to some of the race crew on the ground. I think the wind has dropped off a little bit. So I think some of the riders, are in discussion with the race crew, and I think they've decided it potentially is too light to compete. So I believe we may be going on hold for a little bit, but I think, they're just waiting to see, what the conditions are like on the ground. It is 5 p.m. local time here, so we do rely on that sort of thermal wind. Really kind of middle of the day, early afternoon is sort of prime time for that. So as we move sort of towards into the evening, it will start to cool down. That can sort of mean that the wind starts to drop off a little bit. And obviously with the big thunderstorm earlier in the that has kind of wreaked havoc with the wind as well. So yeah, I think they're just waiting for the conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure to don't go too far. Stay tuned. Make sure to follow our channels, and we will get back to you as soon as the conditions allow. Welcome back. Here with me in the booth, Mr. Steven van Broekhoven. Steven, congratulations for your third place in this Foilstyle single elimination. Steven, are you happy? Are you excited about this result?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the result. To be on the podium, it's always nice. I go without expectations, but I was a little bit prepared, and I'm really happy I could show my potential in this event. We had tricky conditions. I mean, also nice conditions. I mean, yeah, I'm happy actually how it turned out.
A little bit of everything, right,
Yeah.
with us. Some storms, some good weather, some light winds, some strong gusts. And how was it for you to see actually all those young riders improving during the last year and being really able to show off their skills now in the last heats?
Yeah, I think we kind of have the same group like last year, and we all improved. And
Go on.
okay. Sorry, what was the question? Someone is talking in the
No worries, that's
headphone.
part of a live show. So, how was it for you to see all your buddies, your friends, mates you have been training together, and actually some of the very young riders improving a lot throughout the past year? How was it for you seeing them being on the water and improving so much and putting actually all those skills into their heats?
Yeah, we were all improving, and it's nice to keep on pushing. And I think next year we will even grow the level again. There is so much more to practice and to learn. I spoke also with Jack Muller today, and he was showing he's going for double power moves. So I was like, oh man, yeah, I need to practice more.
Yeah, so talking about that, what are you expecting for the future of Foilstyle? I mean, we've been discussing a lot that there has been a lot of evolution going on within the last year. So what are you expecting for the upcoming year in the Foilstyle discipline?
I think we will do more and more moves which we do in the regular freestyle, but I also think we can do a little bit more than that. For example, we're doing back loops pretty much on flat water, push loops, the shifties. I mean, that's amazing. This you cannot do on the fin when it's flat water.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, Steven, thank you so much for the
Yeah.
show. Congratulations again. Rush to the prize giving ceremony, and thank you so much. See you soon.
All right.
Zero, zero.
All right. So, welcome to the booth, Mr. Jentel Cares.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for the show today. I mean, Jentel, we saw you ripping today out there. Are you actually happy with your results?
I'm for sure happy with the result. Being on the podium in between Leonard and Steven is just amazing. You know, they're two rippers on the foil, on the fin, whatever. So yeah, super stoked to be on the podium. The conditions were tricky, but also fun. So yeah, it was nice to be on the water and having a good result.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, congratulations for that. And I mean, I would like to ask you the same question as Steven. We've been talking a lot about the evolution of Foilstyle, about what is coming next. And I mean, after this event, can you already draw a little resume?
Oh, I don't know where we're gonna go with it, because I think we're so in the beginning of it still that it's just gonna improve so quickly. Every event we're gonna do, someone is gonna bring a new move, and it's gonna be a bright future, I'm sure. And I hope to see more young guys coming into it.
Definitely. I would like to know what was actually the highlight of this event for you. I mean, do you have a highlight? Do you have more highlights? What was the very special moment that you will forever keep in your heart about this VIESTE 2024?
It's everything. It's always really nice to come to the event. Everything is so prepared for us. We were a bit unlucky with the wind, so we didn't get the fin surfing, but we had an amazing towing show, competition, and then finishing off with a good day of foil styling is super nice.
Yeah, definitely agree. So what is up next on the menu for you? I mean, did you have the feeling that while being here, you saw some things that you could maybe improve a little bit or that you need to train more on within the next week? Is there something that you have on your to-do and check-up list?
Yeah, for sure. Every rider inspired me with different ways they do some of the foil style moves. We saw Leonard doing the first shifty in competition. I knew it was possible. I've done it by myself, but not in such a light wind. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on that. But I know he's gonna bring something else then again, you know. So we're gonna keep battling with all the riders, and it's gonna be exciting.
And honestly, this is exactly what we want to see. You know, those very close battles are just amazing. They're super excited for the spectators, for the people at the beach, and also for you riders in the end, you know, and growing with each other, that's just the best. So I have one last question for you. Do you want to say something in Italian to the crowd to end it up?
Grazie mille per tutte e vediamo dopo un altro.
Perfetto, super. I mean, Jentel now is almost an Italian local. Dunque, grazie mille Jentel, congratulazioni, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, back in the booth and with me in the house, the winner of this event of the Foilstyle single elimination, Mr. Leonard Neubauer. Leonard, congratulations, very well deserved. So please give us a little insight about your feeling. How was this event for you? And I guess you're obviously very, very happy about this victory.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Last year I came second to, of course, Jentel. He brought some new moves, and this year I felt like, yeah, I could step it up a little bit as with the shifties, you know, and shifties I think is coming in the near future. Everyone is going to be doing it. So as Jentel already said, there's just always someone going to come with a new move. So this time it was my shifty. I'm sure next year Jentel is going to come with some double kulos. I've heard he's been training them. So I'm already a little scared, to be honest. But no, just for this moment, I'm very happy, of course, also with the toe-in. So I came into this day already with a very good psychology. And this morning we had some very difficult conditions, to be honest. It was not your everyday foiling conditions. But I think we made the most out of it. We didn't waste any time. We were early skippers meeting. If there was anything else to catch, we would have caught it. But yeah, judges made a good call with everything today. So yeah, I'm very happy. I think it was a very fair competition, and we just see the level of foil styling is growing each event.
I mean, beautifully said. Nothing to add about that. And besides your victories, what was your personal highlight of this event, or today also? I mean, in general, do you have something where you say, okay, this was a very, very special moment for me here in VIESTE?
Yeah, well, to be honest, the shift I had against Jentel felt like a new move to me. It was just, I caught a strange gust and I kind of didn't really know where I was in the air. And before I even realized, I was just kind of standing on my foil again and almost getting going. So I never realized when that all happened. So I don't know. For me, I'm going to keep that as my best shifty I've ever done on the foil. And then it was in the heat against Jentel. I don't know what else. Just yeah, just very wild conditions and 4-8 foil style. Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you, we all have been super, super impressed by that one. This was definitely one of the highlights, I think, for everyone, and definitely one of the highlight moves, you know. And so, yeah, what are you going to put on your to-do list for the next weeks after this event? I mean, it's been the first event after Cape Town, obviously, but it's been the first event in foil style and obviously also to win. So is there something that you put on your to-do list now for training, improving, working on?
Yeah, so for me, my plan is I'm going to Gran Canaria now for some summer training, so I will not be foiling that much. It will be more of like strong wind and more difficult conditions that I will be working on the next, let's say, 1 or 2 months. Then I'll be going home though for August to prepare for the next event in Geneva, which at home we usually get some pretty good foil style conditions during that period. It's not too strong because it's very warm. And I'm sure, yeah, I'll be trying some new moves. But also, I realized it really is all about consistency, especially now with foiling. There is not so many moves yet that you can choose of. So I really want to work on, okay, actually having 3 good moves on each side, which is also the first event we introduced 3 moves each side, because last year we had 2. So that's already very different. And to be fair, before my heats, I just didn't even know which one my third move was going to be. So I kind of improvised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried a Gozada,
Nice.
didn't work. Okay, well, let's try a Scopo, which I know it's not my favorite move. And somehow I managed to do it in both heats, which I don't know how that happened, but it looks like it did. And yeah, I guess, yeah, consistency is what I'm going to be working on.
I mean, definitely, this is also what Sandy and I've been talking a lot. In the end, consistency is always the key, obviously in daily life, obviously also in competition. And this is actually a very interesting point that you're saying. While I was going out there, I didn't even know what I was doing next, you know. So this is actually something, something very tactical, also very important tactical point within the competition side of Foilstyle. So super interesting to get these insights from you. And I would like to get a last question for you. So all your fans and youngsters at home following you, what would you recommend them if someone would like to go into Foilstyle and give it a try? What do you think are the most important things to consider?
So I think everyone out there nowadays, I think foiling is just growing and growing. So I'm sure if you're watching this, you know at least someone who has a foil, or if you're near a windsurf school, like just really either rent it or ask someone in the beach just really kindly, hey, can I just try your foil? I would like to see how it feels, because it's just such a new it's just such a new sensation when you lift off and you just don't hear the water anymore and everything becomes so quiet. It's a very, very special feeling, and of course it's not the cheapest, we all know that, but that's why, you know, just if you have a friend, just ask him, be curious, and I'm sure he will be very happy to help you, and I'm sure before you know it, you will be in love with the sport just like we all are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I always used to say that for me, foiling is actually the closest you can get to flying.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the closest sensation I have ever experienced, which I imagine flying off, you know. So, yeah, totally agree. And let's round it up with a last question for you.
Yes.
VIESTE in 3 words.
Unpredictable, a lot of fun, I would say. That's one word. I'm not good at counting, just keep that.
Okay.
And sunny.
Perfect. Leonard, congratulations again. Enjoy your victory. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so that was it for day number 5 here in beautiful VIESTE. What an amazing day. What an amazing day to end up this event. I mean, to be honest, I'm a little bit sad. It always feels very melancholic when it's the final day of the event. And what a crazy event it has been, right, Sandy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been, you know, we've had a little bit of everything. You know, personal highlights for me, I think it's got to be, you know, this morning, you kind of Foilstyle finals and just seeing the level of progression there, and then also the tow-in finals the other day in town. You know, to see windsurfing in such a unique backdrop, I think that was, you know, a kind of first for me, and I think that's one of the beauties of the tow-in discipline. And then of course seeing the level as well, and how high it was in the tow-in, and you know, starting to see that. I think one word I'll be taking away from this event is innovation, and the fact that we're seeing that across the board. You know, both the Foilstyle and the tow-in. It's been really, really awesome to see. So yeah, great event, and yeah, can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely, Sandy. Agree. I mean, you said it beautifully. I'm very happy. I mean, 2 out of the 3 discipline has been run. We have some champions. We have some new winner. And it's been just an innovation every day. And yeah, many, many highlights we are taking away. So thank you so much for everybody watching at home, following at home. Make sure to keep following our channels. And see you soon. Ciao so much from beautiful VIESTE. Ciao, everyone.